Welcome to Successful Philanthropy. I'm your host, Jean Shafiroff. This show is designed to highlight the work of philanthropic leaders here in the United States and then beyond. Today with us, Todd LaRue. And Todd is the CEO for the Center for Family Services of Palm Beach County. Let's all welcome Todd LaRue. And Todd, it is truly a joy and a pleasure to have you on the show today. And I want to start first with a little background about you. Of all the things you could do, why did you choose to work for the Center for Family Services of Palm Beach County?
Jean, I am absolutely delighted to be here and thank you for inviting me to join you today. You know, years ago, when I was an undergraduate in college, I planned to go to medical school. And my first class at a new university was Introduction to Psychology. And I fell in love with the topic and wound up going to graduate school in psychology. Worked in the field for a number of years and then drifted away from the field after time and ran my own business for about 15 years in a completely different area. And then about 10 years ago, I went back to kind of my roots, doing some nonprofit work. And about 2 years ago, I joined the Center for Family Services, which is a mental health nonprofit organization here in Palm Beach County. And really, to me, this feels very connected to sort of my roots, why I got into the field of psychology in the beginning. I have a sibling that has mental illness, very high functioning, leads a high profile career. But she's successful through treatment, including medication and therapy. And so to be able to do this work and help others in the community be able to be healthy and strong and support one another and lead their families and run successful businesses and all those kinds of things that we all should be able to do despite whatever our background may be or whatever illness may impact our brains is just, to me, just something that makes my heart feel better. I it's very rewarding work, even though it's very challenging work as well.
And so, what exactly does the Center for Family Services of Palm Beach County do?
Well, we are a nonprofit organization. Our mission is to strengthen individuals and families through behavioral health services and what we would call psychoeducation. And so we have 8 different programs that serve the community. And those programs range from helping mothers and fathers be better parents for their children. As you may know, children don't come with manuals. So we give them some tools that they can use in being able to parent better and raise healthier and stronger children because of that, more resilient children. So that's one of our many programs. We also provide a range of sort of general counseling, which is what many people think of when they think of mental health. So anything from family counseling to individual counseling, couples counseling, all of that is aimed at just allowing people to better survive the challenges that face us in everyday life. And if you've had a therapist, you know that it's like having a friend, but someone who is not going to be biased, someone who is on your side, but also is there to help, help you think through the challenges that you face in your daily life.
For many, trauma starts in the home. It's where their worst nightmares begin. We do the best we can with the tools we have and with what we've seen around us. The scars last, leading to anxiety, feelings of worthlessness, nightmares, the struggle to connect, and more violence. We would love for this trauma not to exist, but we see kids living through it, all alone. And so this is why we're here, so they can heal, and we can stop the violence from being passed on. Healing begins in therapy. They learn to process their trauma, build resilience, and reclaim their lives. We hope to offer guidance, support, and resources for both those experiencing trauma, as well as their loved ones seeking to understand. It's a journey of hope and understanding, unraveling the complex dynamics within homes. This is how we stop the cycle of violence. Our goal is to make our services unnecessary. Your impact helps decide what happens next. We ask you to help us grow the program that helps these kids so that we can meet the demand and let them heal.
We also have programs that are designed for people who are struggling with substance use and are ready to move beyond that. And that could be any kind of substance, from cigarettes to alcohol to a miscellaneous of prescription medications, or even medications that are not prescribed. And so we help people navigate those challenges and getting themselves to a place where they can be healthy again. And then last but not least among our programs is we are the sexual abuse treatment provider for Palm Beach County. So we provide treatment for those who have been abused, both physically and sexually, of any age. But many of our clients in that program are children, and they're children that may have been taken away from their home because the perpetrator is in their home, or they may be children that have experienced that abuse outside the home in some other setting, and there's many ranges of possibilities. It is, again, it's very challenging work, but it's also very rewarding work. And our job is to get those people on a path to being healthy again and being able to navigate their lives without the trauma that they've been through.
And how long has this charity been in existence?
So the charity was formed in 1961 when a group of individuals in the community came together because they saw the need for mental health support. It formally became the nonprofit organization in 1962. And so we have been working in the community now for over 60 some years. And we've had a range of different programs throughout the years. But as I mentioned, our counseling programs, our treatment programs for those who have been victims of various kinds of trauma, and our substance abuse programs date back for many years.
These are all very, very important programs. And I think a lot of people, when they think of Palm Beach, they think of billionaires' homes or millionaires' homes, and they don't realize that everywhere in the world, there is a situation where people have wealth, and then right alongside them, there are people that truly struggle. And I would imagine that most of the people who are serviced by your charity probably live at or below the poverty level. Am I correct in assuming that?
Palm Beach County, I think in some ways is very unique in the United States because, as you said, we have a fairly large county, and we have billionaires, and we have some of the poorest people in the United States living together in one county. You go from the Palm Beach Island and you go due west, and you wind up in Glade, which is a community that serves the historic agricultural uses of the county, and has many people who are, you know, have income well below the poverty line, let's just say. And we serve all of those people. We've served people across the entire community. But as you say, many of those we serve are those who are in poverty, or what's now known as ALICE, which is they have employment, they are working, they're bringing in money on a regular basis, but it is not enough to meet their needs given the costs of living in our community. So that's a significant portion of the community here. And we're available to serve anyone, regardless of their ability to pay. So we meet the needs of, anyone in the community that wants to come see us or is referred to us for whatever their needs are.
And over the course of your history, how many people would you say you've serviced?
Well, we have a semi-official count, and it's over 35,000. And that means millions of therapy hours, literally millions of therapy hours. We serve somewhere around 2,000 to 2,500 individuals per year. In some cases, we also serve their families and extended relationships within that as well. But, the challenge is resources, as always, finding enough therapists and finding enough money to pay those therapists to serve all the people who do have need.
Yes, and like the Hamptons, Palm Beach County is a place where you have the very wealthy, and then you have many people who struggle to survive, who live at or below the poverty level. And to have a charity or a nonprofit like the Center for Family Services of Palm Beach County is very, very important. Now, you also mentioned to me that you have a budget of about $4 million annually. You receive some government funding, I believe some third-party reimbursement funding, but that you have to raise funds privately or through individuals, and that's key to continuing your services. What is your major fundraiser, Todd? And why is it so popular with all the women and men who attend?
Well, thanks for asking. Yes, we do have to raise funds. About a third of our budget is from our annual fundraising, and that, some portion of that is grants from private foundations and other private funders, but a significant portion of that comes through our major event, which is called the Old Bags Luncheon. This luncheon originated here with our organization, and the idea behind the luncheon is that a group of our supporters, mostly ladies, got together and realized that they could raise significant money by auctioning off new and gently used handbags. So the Old Bags Luncheon is a little bit of tongue-in-cheek play on that. And it is a delightful event. We have a lot of fun with it. We typically have 200 to 300 handbags at our silent auction. We have an It bag every year, which is a incredible, brand new, usually bespoke handbag that has been created for our event. And we do a live auction to auction that off. But it's also an opportunity for about 550 members of the community to get together and share lunch, hear an incredible speaker, and enjoy each other's company. So it is, it's considered, I think, one of the top 5 events in the Palm Beach season. And it's fun. I looking back at our most recent event, the 2024 event, we had Martha Stewart as our speaker, and she was very impressive. If anyone has heard her before, you know that. But she is also a very kind person. And so We really enjoyed having her here. We had, I think we had close to 300 bags in our silent auction at a range of price points. So we had, I think, Birkin. We had several other high-end bags in that range. And then we had a full range going all the way down into the, $100 range for those who were looking for a bargain, something to fill out their closet. But it's an opportunity for these mostly ladies get together and enjoy each other's company, have a great speaker, and maybe pick up something new. And then part of the event is our pre-events. So we have a number of events leading up to it that we call bag collection events or bag donation events. And so people come to these events and they donate a new or a gently used handbag that we will be able to use on our silent auction. And so without those, we wouldn't be able to have the event that we have. It gives them a chance to clean out their closet, as you may think of it, and then they have room for something new.
And I happen to have attended last year, and I loved every minute of it. And I thought it was a great luncheon and something that others could model their charity fundraisers by, the Old Bags Luncheon. I remember Martha Stewart. I know Martha. She is a lovely, lovely woman. And then Tommy Hilfiger and his wife Dee were also involved, I think, as honorees. They're a terrific, terrific couple, and just a great group of women and men attending. The event was at the Breakers. And Todd, what's the date of the Old Bags Luncheon this year? 2025, for those that might want to attend and experience this terrific, terrific luncheon for an extraordinarily important cause.
Our event will be on February 19th of 2025. We typically are sold out or near sold out before we even send out the invitations, which usually go out in mid-December, so December of this year. And we will start taking ticket sales typically about a month before that, sometime in early November. So watch our website. There will be a bright pink link that goes on the top of the website when the ticket sales become active. And even before that, we will have sponsorship opportunities available. Those will launch probably in early August. So those range from everything from the VIP opportunities to sponsoring a table or even sponsoring the entire event as a title sponsor or similar.
For the audience, we are with Todd LaRue. He is the CEO for the Center for Family Services of Palm Beach County. Now, Todd, your work at the center is so critical for so many families and then their children who truly suffer from a lot of different problems. And one of the things I always like to ask is, if you had one wish for a new program or for sponsorship, what would that be?
That's a great question, and thank you for asking that. So some of the work that we're doing here at the center has been around trauma of various kinds. And people think of trauma as things like soldiers coming back from war and they suffer from PTSD. But anyone can suffer from PTSD. It doesn't have to be a soldier returning from war. There's other kinds of trauma that impact us in the same way. People who have been a victim of a crime or even who have witnessed a crime taking place, or maybe people who have witnessed a horrific accident on the highways or something like that. That can be very traumatic to people. It can, trouble them with nightmares for months or even years to come. And one of the things that we've been working on here, I've been able to find funding to get all of our staff trained on what is considered to be the current lead therapy, which is called EMDR. It uses rapid eye movements to help the client handle the stress and trauma that they've been through. But we've been working towards training some of our therapists on a newer form of therapy called reconsolidation of traumatic memories, or RTM. And so we have three therapists who are going through training right now. And then we have a waiting list of some of our additional therapists who would like to go through that training. But we need help to support that. And I'll tell you why I think this is important. So the EMDR, which is the top of the line training for PTSD and similar problems related to those kind of trauma right now, typically helps about a third of the recipients of that therapy in about 8 sessions, 8 to 9 sessions. The RTM therapy that we're looking at introducing here typically helps about 2/3 of the clients with anywhere from 4 to 5 sessions. So we're talking about twice as much help in half as much time. And if we can get some funding to send some more therapists through that training, we can start treating more patients, and we could potentially be serving a much broader portion of the community by using that therapy. But the other part that we need funding for is we want to actually be able to do some research and see if it's as effective in our clients as it has been in, say, soldiers returning from war or first responders who are seeing trauma as a daily part of their work lives. So our clients may experience trauma, as I said, through things like being a victim of a crime or maybe through sexual abuse or something like that. And so we'd like to be able to start doing some real research on the effectiveness of this therapy in that population. And that work has not really been done so far. And we need funds to be able to do that. We need funds for the training. We need funds to support the data analysis. And unfortunately, as much as we'd like to be able to just offer this for free, which, we offer a sliding fee scale for all of what we do, it costs us money to be able to put that on. So if this is something that was appealing or interesting to someone who is listening to the show, we would be delighted to have a conversation, tell you a little bit more about the reconsolidation of traumatic memory therapy and what we intend to use it for, and keep you filled in on the results as we move forward with it.
And before I ask for the website and a phone number, do you take people from out of state for a program such as that?
Our primary audience is people who are here in Palm Beach County. However, we have served people from out of state. We serve people wherever they have need if they come to us. Sometimes it is because they are a family of someone or an acquaintance of someone that we are already serving, and so they've heard about the work that we are doing, and so they reach out to us because of that. And we try not to turn anyone away that has need. So, it can be a challenge sometimes. We do wind up sometimes with waiting lists. We try to keep those down, but yes, we will serve anybody if we have the ability to do so.
All very important and very important work. Now, for those that would like to learn more, who would like to donate, or maybe want to use your services, what is the website and what is the phone number that they could call?
Those are great questions. And our phone number is 561-616-1222. Again, that's 561-616-1222. And that gets our main desk. And if they're trying to reach me, they can certainly ask for me there. And I'm generally available. Our website is ctrfam.org. So it's letters CTR for center, FAM for family, .org or org.
Do you accept volunteers that want to get involved in a program helping people? And if so, is there a rigorous training program?
Unfortunately, because of the rules around HIPAA and the type of clients that we see and the trauma that they've experienced, we really use very few volunteers to directly see clients. And we differ from many other nonprofit organizations in that respect, because we do have to be compliant with HIPAA laws and other patient privacy laws. It very much limits what we're able to do. Anyone that does have contact with any of our clients has to have what in Florida is known as a level 2 background check, which means that not only do we check all criminal records, they have to be fingerprinted, and those fingerprints have to be sent to both the state database and the national FBI database, which is, it takes time, it takes money to accomplish that. And even so, as I said, we're very limited in the amount of contact that someone who is a layperson could have with many of the clients that we have. We do use volunteers for some of the other activities that we do, including our Old Bags Luncheon. We have a wonderful group of volunteers that help us collect the new or gently used handbags. We have an incredible team. We call them the Dream Team that goes through all the bags that we receive and grades them and checks them, checks the value of the bag, checks the quality, if it's used, make sure that there's no visible damage or wear and tear, and then helps us set the pricing for those for the silent auction.
I think the work that the Center for Family Services does in Palm Beach County is incredibly important work. And based on my interview now with you, Todd, I'm very, very impressed with the level of care and the level of professionalism of the Center for Family Services of Palm Beach County. Now, Todd, young people watching this show might be interested in having a career such as yours. What advice would you give them?
That's a great question. And I would say that, well, first of all, one of the challenges that we have in this community overall and throughout the United States, and I think even throughout the world, is that mental health issues are on the rise. And part of that, I think, has to do with the fact that people are more and more living in communities where they don't have connections or roots that go deep into the community. I think there was a time when many people lived in much smaller communities, and there was, essentially an extended family around them. And now many people live in big cities and it's very anonymous, and they don't feel very connected to the world that's around them. And that leads to things like anxiety and depression and other mental health issues. So there is a tremendous need for young people who want to go into this field. And that there's almost unlimited number of opportunities for them. We face challenges in hiring anytime we have any staff turnover because of that. What I would say is, first of all, know yourself. Start out by knowing what your motivations are for going into the field. And we all have our reasons for doing this work. And many people who go into psychology go into that field because they have a relative or a friend or even some challenges themselves that they are working to overcome. And that leads them to be very passionate about the work that we do. First step is always getting a undergraduate degree. And then for all of our counselors, the minimum requirement is a master's degree, either licensed clinical social worker at the master's level or licensed mental health counselor, again, at the master's level. And that's a long process and challenging one, but also a very rewarding one. And I encourage anyone who is interested that is hearing this show and thinks they might want to go into that career to reach out. I'm always happy to have a conversation with someone who is interested in the field. We do use interns here, both at the undergraduate and graduate level, so they get a chance to experience what life is like working in the field and what kinds of experiences they might see if they do choose that path.
For those that want to get involved or donate, again, what is the website and phone number?
Our website is ctrfam.org, and the phone number is 561-616-1222.
Todd, you've been a wonderful guest today and a most informative one, and I think this interview will help many, many people. This concludes Successful Philanthropy. Our guest today, Todd LaRue. He is the CEO of the Center for Family Services of Palm Beach County. I'm Jean Shafiroff, your host. I'll see you next week.